Welcome back to our YouTube channel with yours truly, Akeem and Sanjay. It has been a while since we have posted, guys, and honestly, we thought that this would have been a manageable initiative to juggle, personal life, work, studies, and a YouTube channel, but it has been tough. But I know our team, Sanjay and myself so far, we don't quit and we're going to try our best to deliver
Right.
content to you guys, and we're going to try our best to have that same energy that we have, with our work, personal life, and also for our studies and so forth.
Right.
So honestly, I must also add, guys, that this is our second take for this content because the first one we did pretty much came out horrible. The audio and the video wasn't in sync, the lighting was poor, it was a mess. So we're doing this again because we don't want to give anything but our best efforts.
Right. Right.
So today we'll be talking about my experience in preparing and passing AWS Cloud Practitioner examination.
So let's get into it, right? So in terms of doing this examination, right? Particular AWS, I know that there are other cloud vendors, particular Microsoft Azure and Google GPC. Why did you choose to take the AWS exam?
Okay, so honestly, the the petty, I should, or should I say it's, somewhat logical. So, like yourself and few other persons within my circle, they are pursuing Azure and they're becoming master within that realms. So I decided not to follow the same path, right, as them, but to try to do something different, which is AWS. Now, the good thing, let's just say in the future, if we should collaborate, whether joining, both solutions, Azure and AWS together, to put a masterpiece out there, myself and my colleagues will be versed in such knowledge.
Okay. Alright, so in terms of preparing for this examination, what are like the study materials that you used in your preparation?
Okay, so I use AWS. Training on AWS is free for the cloud practitioner. It didn't cost me a penny to use their material. They had a training plan that was well put together. I followed it bit by bit. And amazingly, they also have the cloud practitioner quest, basically a challenge that you will be partaking, which will enforce the concept that you have read, watched, or listened to throughout the course material. So I did not use any other cloud platforms to prepare for the AWS examination.
Okay. Alright. And these were like video-based training, or were there like theories that you had to go through? What was it like?
Okay, so thinking back, the material was a mixture of everything. So there were videos, there were moments when I had Microsoft Edge reading to me of what's on the page, and also there were some audio slides as well that I had to listen to as well for the preparation process.
Okay. Okay. And what was there like any challenges that you faced, and how did you keep yourself motivated going through?
Well, as mentioned in our previous video, making a schedule is one of the main reason why I was able to follow through with preparing for this examination. Now, the thing is, I must be honest, I wasn't able to follow the schedule spot on every single week, but I made a commitment to invest as much time as I can and try to follow that schedule as close as possible. So, for example, 7 days a week, I may put in an hour each day. Some days, I am able to put in only 50 minutes in studying. And there are some days when I'm able to put in 2, 3 hours, especially on the weekends when I'm off from work. So that kind of helped to keep me in the process of, or should I say, keep me in an organized structure in how I spend my time in preparing for the examination.
Okay. Okay. All right. So working with these AWS services, right? Were there any topics that you found interesting? And if so, what topic was that?
Okay, so I must say, from a business standpoint, what captured my attention the most was how much, or should I say, how effective the different cost saving options that AWS offers. Now, I'm pretty sure that Azure and other cloud providers, have the same concept, but I was pretty much fascinating into how the different costs or saving options that are available and how it was actually, portrayed in the course material. Now, besides the fun part of being able to configure EC2 instance um, for computing purposes was was fun, right? But what I know matters is how much money I can save, for my company if I should ever be placed on a project at work. I'll be able to formulate solutions or think of solutions and think of saving money for my company in the back of my mind. So saving part is really interesting. Configuring the different instances, different features, services, for example, auto scaling groups, um, configure load balancing as well. Those are fun, I must say. But I love the fact that I can somehow have the concept or have the assurance that whatever I'm going to do is going to be about saving money for my company.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Now, leading up to the examination, right? I already spoke about scheduling, which is a key piece of the puzzle. Now, how did you approach the exam and like to practice for it? What
Okay.
sort of methods did you use?
All right. So after going through the training plan, which encompassed the AWS Cloud Practitioner quest, right? I did every single lab or challenge. Once I'm through, I did pay for the practice question from AWS because the free one was okay, but I thought I wanted more to see how much I know what I think I know. So I did that and I did the practice question like about 2 or 3 times. You know, my first time I got like 21 incorrect. Second time I went again. I got like 4 incorrect, and the third time, pretty much did I do a third time? I don't remember. But yeah, I ensured that I used that to guide the areas where I wasn't so competent in. Then I reviewed that section of the material, and then whatever areas I wasn't confident in, I ensure I reviewed the material, and then from there I was able to execute accordingly in obtaining high scores.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like a plausible plan. And while in the exam, itself, right? How long was this exam, by the way?
I if I'm so if my memory serves me correct, I think it's like 100 minutes.
Okay, okay,
That was the duration of the time, and I think I took like an hour and some minutes. Yeah, because
okay,
I booked the exam like for 1 a.m. Yeah, so I booked the exam for Sunday, April 2nd at 1 a.m. And one of the reasons why I did this is because AWS at the time offered a free retake in the event I failed. So I took advantage of that reassurance and I took the exam, and here we are today. I passed with with I wouldn't say flying colors, but I passed just enough to show, hey, that I understand the different concepts that I've been taught.
okay. Nice, nice, nice. And doing the exam, what was it like your strategy on approaching each questions, and was it
So here's the thing. Within the same training plan from AWS, the guys literally walk through how you should approach the questions. And it's pretty much something that I have been doing all my life in these certifications. And my famous approach was method of elimination. So if you have four questions, right, you try to rule out the ones that does not make any sense whatsoever, and then that no will pretty much narrow your thought process into picking which answer is applicable to the question that has been asked.
okay? Okay, sounds good. And were there any surprises that caught you in the exam, if you can say?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't say there was any surprises because practice questions really help in preparing me for the exam, and the training plan covered a wide variety of different areas that I need to understand. So I spent adequate time to prepare for the exam. So I wasn't really surprised, right? I'm just happy that I passed.
Okay, okay, good
Yeah.
job, good job. And now that you are AWS Cloud Practitioner certified, how do you plan on using this newly found knowledge and skills?
Well, let me tell you a little secret. So, um, a week before doing the examination, right? At work, we had a meeting and we were talking about some AWS stuff, and I was able to understand what was being discussed. So I felt really proud that I was able to whatever I learned through my preparation, I was able to apply my knowledge in that conversation. I didn't say much, but when the experts were talking about different solutions and whatnot, I was able to receive what they were saying.
Okay, okay, sounds good. And after this certification, what's your next step?
All right, so the plan is not to rush into AWS Solutions Architect Associate. I want to take my time and do the Cloud Quest Challenge, the labs, go through the material timely, and hopefully by the end of this year, December, I should be able to obtain that certification. You know, given that I am able to prepare for it properly, because I'm still juggling personal life, family, work, studies, all that awesome stuff. But I do hope that I can get to do that exam by the end of this year. And I'm currently preparing for my CompTIA Cloud Plus as we speak, as was also a commitment made in our earlier videos. So I want to deliver on that first, and then from there I'll proceed with my original plan, which is the CCNP Security Core, right, for this year. And then hopefully, if all goes well, in August, we'll announce our big news about preparing for something really amazing.
Okay, Alright, sounds good. And quick one before I go. Are there any advice that you have for someone that's looking to take this certification?
To be honest, guys, there has to be a why you're doing it, whether it be extrinsic or intrinsic, right? There has to be a why, because if you don't have a reason why you're doing it, there are going to be days when you don't feel like doing nothing, and you have to be committed to the why to execute what's required of you to partake, or to obtain success in the end. So that's primarily what. So what are the reason for it being, you want to be well versed in IT, or you want to gain some knowledge within the cloud, or whether by getting the certification you can get a bump in your salary. Whatever reason it is, you have to have something that is substantial that can keep you going the days when you feel like you don't want to go. So yeah, that's my advice.
Right. I totally agree. You have to have that reason that gives you motivation to continue. Well, let me say again, congratulations on your certification.
Thank
It's
thank
well
you, sir.
deserved.
Appreciate it.
It's well deserved. And for me, I'm currently doing my studies on the Microsoft Azure AZ 104 certification. I'm just
What
about
is that? What is that? What is that? What is Azure again?
you'll soon find out. Right, so I'm about 3/4 ways through on that, and when I pass, you'll certainly hear of my story as well. Right,
Yeah, so in that video the tables will turn, so I'll be interviewing you on
right,
your experience, so be ready for that
sure,
as well.
sure. Right. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope this has been informative for you, and that you will tune in the next time as we continue to keep moving and keep going.